Good day, everyone. So this time we're going to tackle about a quantitative research about the influence of code switching on students' English language competence among grade 12 students in Sagayen National High School. But before that, I'll introduce
And the
myself.
second
My name is Bayocboc,
to describe
student
the
from
level
Sagayen
of
National
English
High
language
School.
competence in terms
In
of
Spain, students
reading,
have the most lowest
writing,
level of competence
speaking,
in English
listening,
language.
and
In
comprehension.
2022 annual test of basic competences of Catalan secondary education uncovered that the average course in English attained by the students from Spain graduating from compulsory secondary education with the age of 16 did not reach the 70 points over 100 points, proved by the authorities as the necessary threshold level. Moreover, in Indonesia, teachers and students face various problems and challenges in English language teaching and learning. Fardede 2018 advocated that more than three-quarters of students at secondary school in capital of Indonesia, 79% agreed and strongly agreed to use both English and Indonesian, while almost half or 46% hated the notion of using full English. Furthermore, in Philippines, numerous studies uncover that Filipino competence in the English language is rocketing down the slope. In 2017, the BS Ed English major students take exam. Findings show that 60% or 159 out of 263 takers failed the examination in English. It was found that their literacy competence is low and their English language is affected. Also, in Davao de Oro, studies uncovered that some of the students face the challenges in learning English. In survey shows that students have an overall rating of low English proficiency, which is 13.55. Specifically, the students have low scores in grammar with a mean of 7.13 and low scores in reading comprehension with a mean of 6.42. The results have found out that the students have difficulty with grammar, especially in structure of English and linguistics. These are the research objectives of my study. First is to describe the level of code switching in terms of attitudes towards code switching and attitudes towards English language competence. Code switching is refers to when bilinguals or multilinguals blend into two or more languages in a sentence without changing the subject. And attitude towards code switching, it refers to the practice of using multiple language or different language without change the topic. Attitude towards English language, it refers to the attitude of individuals when it comes to English language. And the second objective is to describe the level of English language competence in terms of reading, writing, speaking, listening, and comprehension. English language competence refers to the person's ability and having an essential knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors. Reading refers to the process of absorbing information from written text and associate information with prior knowledge to establish a meaningful text. Writing refers to a tool of communication. It expresses people's thoughts and feelings through written text. Speaking refers to the activity that involves two or more people in which the participants are both listeners and speakers. Listening refers to the active process aimed to get the meaning from our hearing. And lastly, comprehension. It refers to the process of simultaneously extracting and constructing meaning through interaction and involvement with the written language. Third is to determine the significant relationship between code switching and English language competence among grade 12 students in Cagayan National High School. Fourth is to determine which domain of code switching and English language competence among grade 12 students in Cagayan National High School. These are the hypotheses of my study. First is, there is no significant relationship between code switching and English language competence among grade 12 students in Cagayan National High School. Second is, there is no significant relationship between code switching and English language competence among grade 12 students in Cagayan National High School. This study is supported by PAPLAC 1980 that there is relationship between code switching and English language competence. It stated that code switching and bilingual is effective if the speakers have capacity in bilingual. Also indicated that bilingual with the excellence of both language tend to be better in code switching. And this study is anchored on the theory of Huerta Matias A. and Quintero in 1992. They established that code switching is both oral and written forms, allowed every person to have an effective communication with each other. Also, it can be manifested into two dimensions, which are attitude towards code switching and attitude towards English language. Also, this study is anchored in the theory of Jones' 1993 English language proficiency. Established the English language proficiency or competence. It is the ability of individuals in understanding English and easy to comprehend the English instruction. Also, it can be manifested into 5 dimensions, which are reading, writing, speaking, listening, and comprehension. As you can see here, there is a conceptual paradigm and it consists of 2 variables, the independent and dependent variables, which is the first box is the independent and has the indicators of code switching, and inside of it is the attitude towards code switching and attitude towards English language. Let's move on to the second box, which is the English language competence, and inside of it has the indicator of reading, writing, speaking, listening, and comprehension. The research design of this study is, this research will utilize a quantitative and non-experimental design with descriptive correlation approach to examine the potential relationship between 2 specified variables and to assess the direction and strength of that relationship if it exists. The descriptive correlation method was considered suitable and precise for this study. This research study will be conducted at Cagayan National High School, located at Barangay Cagayan, Asuncion, Davao del Norte. The population and sample of my study included the grade 12 students who are facing challenges in using English language with a total of 143 respondents. The statistical tool of this study is the answers from the survey are customized and documented. The analysis made use of the statistical treatments listed below. First is mean. Mean is, this will measure the levels of code switching and English language competence applicable to objectives 1 and 2. Second is persons are. This will assess the significant relationship between code switching and English language competence, addressing question number 3. The third is regression analysis. This will identify which domain of code switching significantly influence of English language. So these are the results of the survey that I've gathered. In Table 1 shows the data on code switching, shows a moderate level of code switching with an overall mean score of 3.07, indicating that attitude towards code switching and attitude towards English language are also at moderate levels. Attitude towards code switching has the highest mean score of 3.12, followed by attitude towards English language at 3.02. This moderate level of code switching implies that students, teachers, and researchers can benefit from strategies to enhance confidence in code switching. When code switching is improved, students are more likely to engage in code switching, boosting their academic performance and motivation. The data on English language competence, as presented in Table 2, shows an overall average of 3.01, indicating the higher level of English language competence. The highest level of English language competence is observed in reading with a mean of 3.09, followed by writing with a mean of 3.04, speaking with a mean of 3.02, listening with a mean of 2.99, and comprehension with a mean of 2.94. Three indicators which have a moderate level or moderate descriptive equivalent, and two indicators have a low descriptive equivalent. The moderate level of English language competence among students in Sagayan National High School implies that engaging in English language competence has important implications for the students. It enhances the students' competence in English language. This indicates that practices such as reading, writing, speaking, listening, and comprehension of the students. By introducing these practices, students can improve their proficiency in English. The test results in Table 3 show a significant relationship between code switching and English language competence, with an R value of 0.72 and a P value of 0.00, leading to the rejection of the hypothesis. The coefficient of determination, or R squared, 0.51, indicates that 51% of the variation in, while the remaining 49% is influenced by other factors not included in the study. The study results in Table 4 that the p-values are 0.00, which is considerably less than 0.05. Therefore, the two indicators are rejected. This means that there is statistically significant evidence to suggest that the two indicators are significantly related to English language competence. This is the summary and findings of my study. Based on the data gathered, the following findings were presented. First is grade 12 students at Sagayan National High School have a overall mean of 3.07 with a descriptive equivalent of moderate. Second is the mean of English language competence, and the overall mean is 3.01 with a descriptive equivalent of moderate. Third is there is a statistically significant relationship between code switching and English language competence, as indicated by a probability value of 0.00 and leading to the acceptance of null hypothesis. Fourth is, in statistical terms, there is significant evidence to reject the idea that code switching impact by English language competence, as the calculated probability value of 0.00 is level of significance of 0.05. So this is the conclusion of my study. Based on the findings of the study, the following conclusions are made. First is the level of code switching is moderately evident. The second is the level of English language competence is moderately evident. The third is there is a significant relationship between code switching and predicting the English language competence of these students.
Further recommendation. First is enhance DepEd Order Number 16, Series 2012 by promoting Every Child a Reader initiatives effectively. The Department of Education should strengthen DepEd Order Number 16, Series 2012, which promotes the Every Child a Reader initiative to cultivate positive attitudes towards English language proficiency. By implementing targeted programs such as storytelling sessions, English reading clinics, and peer-assisted learning, students can develop essential literacy skills and boost their confidence in using the language. Moreover, promoting a reading culture not only enhances students' vocabulary and comprehension, but also it helps them perceive English as a valuable and accessible resource for critical thinking, self-expression, and understanding different cultures. Second is, DepEd should improve DepEd Order Number 35, Series 2016, enhancing the reading recovery program for students' literacy. The Department of Education needs to enhance the implementation of DepEd Order Number 35, Series 2016, which highlights the importance of the Reading Recovery Program designed to address students' literacy and comprehension deficits. By providing targeted assistance to struggling readers, this program helps improve their understanding and interpretation of English text. Utilizing engaging methods such as comprehension checks, context-driven vocabulary teaching, and guided reading sessions can boost students' confidence in their reading abilities. Fostering these sessions can boost students' confidence in their reading abilities. Fostering strategies can cultivate a positive mindset towards mastering English, making the learning process feel rewarding and achievable, ultimately contributing to their academic success. Third is, DepEd Order stresses code switching impact on English proficiency. Promote multilingual education, literacy, linguistic flexibility, and balance. As highlighted in DepEd number 16 Series 2012, the link between code switching and English language proficiency underscores the need for real structured language programs that promote multilingual education and reading literacy. Students' effort resort to code switching as a natural means of communication while they are still refining their English skills. When managed correctly, this practice can foster linguistic flexibility and deepen learning. However, an effective curriculum must ensure that students gradually depend less on code switching and develop their English skills independently. Strengthening this balance through assessment frameworks and teacher training can enhance both confidence and the students' language proficiency. Fourth is, DepEd should enhance enforcement of series of 2015, emphasizing English for academic achievement through interactive teaching strategies. To address the challenges of shifting from native language to English in classrooms, the Department of Education should develop and implement a bilingual bridge program. This initiative aims to support students in utilizing both language systems effectively by equipping teachers with practical code switching techniques such as using native languages to clarify complex ideas while gradually increasing students' exposure to English. According to Section 74 of of DepEd Order Number 2016, which endorsed mother tongue-based multilingual education. The program can help narrow the gap between students' proficiency in their native languages and English by fostering gradual fluency without excessive reliance on code switching. 6 is and the 6. The Ed should establish language immersion camps to improve English skills and reduce code switching among students. In its efforts to enhance language skills, DepEd should encourage to establish language immersion camps to boost students' English proficiency and reduce their reliance on code switching. At these camps, students can engage in activities such as role-playing, group discussions, and cultural exchanges, allowing them to practice English in an interactive environment. By simulating real-life scenarios that encourage the use of English, these camps help build students' fluency and confidence. With native languages used only for clarification purposes, these programs align the goals of DepEd Order Number 25, Series 2015, which emphasizes the importance of English as a medium of instruction and its role in preparing students for academic and global challenges. The 7 is Department of Education workshops on code switching awareness for teachers and students improve language skills. It is suggested that the Department of Education should hold workshops on code switching awareness for both teachers and students to tackle broader issues associated with code switching. These workshops would cover the benefits and disadvantages of code switching, emphasizes its role as a supportive tool to learning instead of an obstacle to mastering English. Implementing practical strategies like encouraging English-only discussion in academic context while allowing minimal use of native languages for clarification. It can help students feel more at ease with the transition. This initiative aims to deepen the understanding of code switching's impact on language skills and learning results, thereby strengthening existing programs. And the 8 is the prevalence of code switching and its connection to high school students' English proficiency levels. This is the important references of my study. Once again, I am Faith Bayocboc, students of Sagayen National High School, the researcher of this study with the title of The Influence of Code Switching on Students' English Language Competence among grade 12 students in Sagayen National High School.